Hi, this is JR from PFRS Circle. Today we're going to talk about PAS1 entitled Presentation of Financial Statements. This is the 2007 version adapted from IAS1. PAS1 requires that if an entity opts to comply with IFRS, it must comply with IFRS as a whole unless they need to depart from certain pronouncements to achieve fair presentation. The financial statements are required to be produced for at least 1 year, and they are the following. First, the statement of financial position. Second, income statement, which is the optional statement. It must show the end profit or loss or the net income, which must be subdivided into a parent for the parent net income and the net income that is designated for the non-controlling interest. The third is the statement of comprehensive income, where if you chose to present income statement, you must give first the balance of the net income, add the other comprehensive income, then you will get the total of total comprehensive income, which must again be subdivided of the total comprehensive income for the parent and the non-controlling interest. The fourth financial statement is the statement of cash flows. Next is statement of changes in equity. 6. The notes to the financial statements, which must show the general description about the presenter, the compliance with IFRS that must be explicitly stated in the notes, the aggregation, or what we call the supporting computations, if it was not shown in the face of the financial statements. It must also show the individual IFRS disclosure requirements. And seventh, PAS1 requires comparative information. Now, for all these financial statements, they are of equal prominence, and there is no statement that we can say that is superior to the other. PAS1 permits changing the name of these statements and as far as they give the same meaning. PAS1 requires comparative information, which must show the preceding period financial statements for all amounts. Thus, there is a minimum of 2 financial statement of financial position, 2 statement of changes in owner's equity, 2 statement of comprehensive income, 2 statement of cash flows. Yeah, that's it. Next, we are going to talk about other comprehensive income. Other comprehensive income are those items of income and expenses that are not recognized in profit or loss. The components are as follows: the changes in revaluation surplus, net remeasurement gain or loss of defined benefit plans, translation gain or loss. These are those from foreign operations, unrealized gain or loss from financial assets through fair value through other comprehensive income, unrealized gain or loss from hedging instruments designated as cash flow hedge, and lastly, gain or loss from changes in credit risk on fair financial liabilities through FVPL or fair value through profit or loss. Some OCI items, if realized or disposed, will be classified to profit or loss. This is what we call reclassification adjustments. PAS1 also requires the accrual basis unless you are preparing the statement of cash flows. It also talks about materiality and aggregation, which means that each material class of similar items must be presented separately and can be aggregated. So it also talks about offsetting. Offsetting is not allowed unless required by other IFRS. It also requires consistency unless IFRS requires change or other policies are needed for fair presentation. PAS1 requires if there is a change in accounting policy or a retrospective restatement or reclassification, it requires that you must present a third statement of financial position as at the beginning of the preceding period. So meaning, if there is a change in accounting policy, retrospective statement, or reclassification, aside from the current period financial statement, for example, if it is as of December 2016, the comparative information must be as of December 2015, and the third statement of financial position must be as of January 2015. PAS1 also underlines understandability. The statement of financial position must show first the name of the reporting entity, second if it is a consolidated or separate financial statement for group or individual entities, the date or the ending covered, the presentation currency used, the level of rounding used. PAS1 also gave the minimum items to be presented in the financial statements and also the disclosures required, and you can look at it more and for a specific look at the PAS1 standard. Now we move on to the classification of current and non-current assets and liabilities. PAS1 requires that assets and liabilities must be classified into current and non-current. For the assets to be classified into current, they must be those assets that can be realized or consumed in its normal operating cycle, or assets that are used primarily for trading, expected to be disposed or realized within 12 months, or those assets that are considered cash or cash equivalents. Any other assets not mentioned above must be presented as non-current assets. For the liabilities classification, liabilities are classified as current if they are expected to be settled in its normal operating cycle. If it is also primarily held for trading, it is expected to be settled within 12 months. There is no unconditional right to defer settlement of liability for at least 12 months after the reporting period. Now, any other liabilities not mentioned above must be classified into the non-current liabilities. That is the PAS1, or the presentation of financial statements summary. Ciao.